I hate repeating myself. I hate having to tell the same story over and over and over again because there's one or two extra screenshots that just need to be addressed as they completely change the narrative. That's why over time I've been trying to cover bigger topics that are done instead of talking about ongoing stuff, because there will always be comments like, OMG, they made another response. You just gotta respond, man. And my emotional response is always, In my first video, I had no intention of calling him a grandma or even a The majority of the video is about other stuff because that's what I actually spent weeks researching. I just slapped on the new stuff to be up to date. So imagine my surprise when I see that Alex has made multiple responses on multiple platforms. And imagine my even greater surprise when I found out each and every one of them is terrible. For a short rundown, Alex, aka YandereDev, decided that he would make his life 10 times worse by grooming a child. After this was brought to the public, he went back to the minor, trying to guilt trip them into retracting their claims and saying that they were lies, as opposed to the collective gasp everyone had when Blair was a bad person. People kind of just shrugged, because if anyone was going to be a nonce, it would be the guy who described his ideal partner as babyish and youthful. I, the king of the world, best YouTuber ever, the top tier guy, made a banger video on Alex as a whole, which everyone loved and watched it because it was so amazing and good. Maybe the best video on the site levels of good, if you ignore the editing mistake I made at this section. After my video dropped, Alex decided he would make responses on his Patreon, his Discord and his blog. I will be going through these and some other stuff for the video. So here is YandereDev 2 Electric Boogaloo Shippuden Future, featuring Dante from Devil May Cry, and Knuckles. But before we start this video, I have one last thing to say. This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. I have always wanted to say that. I won't play dumb and act like you don't know what Raid is, but I have to come clean and say that the game is actually really fun. No, seriously, they didn't even give me a limit on how much I had to play, so I ended up putting off the video to play more Raid. An RPG with tens of hours of PvE content along with PvP for those battle freaks. It runs completely smoothly on mobile and PC on basically anything, and has some of the best champions I have ever seen. I mean, just look at her. Right, anyway, let's play Kiss, Marry, Kill on the Halloween champions. I'd like to kill Miss Annie, kiss Madame Ceres, and marry Sviffy the Lost Bride. Don't think too hard about my choices, I'm not weird. This October, be prepared for Raid's Halloween event. You'll be in for some spooks and scares this Halloween. Simply download Raid using the links below. Go to raidyard.plarium.com from October 15th to November 10th, enter your player ID, and then go forth into the haunted graveyard. Grab a shovel, pick a grave, and start digging. And you'll be in with the chance to dig up some amazing in-game items, and even real-life prizes, ranging from epic and legendary Halloween themed raid champions to Amazon gift cards with a total value of $20,000. One of the reasons I ended up playing for way longer than I should have is because of the over 800 unique champions. Each of them have their own playstyle or unique abilities that set them apart a lot. If that's not enough, there's also plenty of ways to customize your champions to make them unique to you. After hearing about all of this and seeing all of these amazing champions, download Raid with my link or the QR code on screen to get some crazy bonuses, a free epic champion, Night Aaron, along with energy refills, skill tomes, and XP boosters. Here's my profile name if you want to add me. I'm actually thinking of making a clan in this game if people would be interested in that. So back to the video, and thanks for sponsoring this video again. Something I've noticed of a lot of these apologies is that none of them really ever address the actual issue people had with them, and use very vague terms to make it look like they're taking accountability. How is this done? Well, it seems Alex went to the Camilla Cuevas school of wasting my time, because not once did Alex even mention him grooming someone or his relationship with a minor. That is so strange to me. I'm in utter shock at Alex's blatant refusal to accept accountability. I've been exhibiting horribly self-destructive behavior on a regular basis for a long time now. As a result of the many conversations I've had over the past few days, I think I can pinpoint the cause. My downward spiral is the result of consistently making incredibly unwise lifestyle choices that have caused my mental health to deteriorate massively over time. It didn't hit me until recently just how bad things had gotten. Haven't left the house since July 2019. 2019! Oh my god! We'll just start here, as Alex doesn't mention what he actually did in order to hold on to the portion of his fanbase that don't know what happened. This is a common strategy used by creators to actually avoid facing real consequences for their actions. If he was actually guilty for what he did, Alex would have actually explained what happened. Something he has not done because, surprise surprise, he is not sorry. Also, dude, You haven't left your house in 4 years? What were you doing? Like, actually, that's 35,064 hours. At most, 20% of that was actually spent programming the game. Everything else was either spent playing games, sleeping, or being weird with women. Hearing stuff like this further adds on to how unsurprising it was when Alex was exposed as a groomer, because he is literally ticking all of the boxes. He's a stereotype at this point. No real life acquaintances, 16 plus hours on the computer every day not programming the game, no vacations in half a decade, prioritizing work. It shouldn't be any surprise whatsoever that when you allow both your body and mind to completely waste away, you dissolve into a mistake machine, a person that is capable of making nothing but bad decisions, who exists solely to cause problems for others. Mistake machine. Adjective. The description of a person hiding from responsibility. In a sentence. Your mother was a mistake machine when she had you. God, that joke wasn't funny. Okay, joking aside, summing up your recent behavior as you becoming a mistake machine is laughable. I would be doing that if I wasn't so disappointed in such a crummy statement. This is a child you could have potentially traumatized for life, Alex. This is no longer about you being a bad game dev anymore. This is serious. I'll be honest and say that the likeliness of him actually being arrested for this is pretty low due to our wonderful justice system. But this, even on a business standpoint, is horrible. No one is going to want to work for you or work with you anymore. Your reputation as a human being has been crushed to bits because of what you did. Go outside. Seriously, you probably stink. Sending a message to the wrong person is a mistake. Talking about your penis length and sending a dick pic to a kid is a crime.
Actually do something with your life.
Since the last blog post, a lot of people have reached out to me to share the same advice. See a therapist. Get hobbies that don't involve a computer or TV screen. Step away from game development. You're already doing that. You weren't working on the game already. But sure, step away from game development for a few months. All of it can be summarized as start making healthy life choices that will turn you into not a... And I honestly can't argue with that. This might sound like a really random time to launch into an anecdote, but I'd like to mention something really quick. Recently, somebody messaged me to tell me something. A few years ago, when his girlfriend was on the verge of... She sent me fan mail. I responded to her to thank her for her kind words. Apparently, this cheered her up so much that she stopped thinking about herself. Oh no. You can't be serious. There's no way he'd be that tone deaf. She sent me fan mail. I responded to her to thank her for her kind words. Apparently, this cheered her up so much that she stopped thinking about herself. She's still alive today. He just wants to tell me, thank you for saving my girlfriend's life. You cannot tell me that this wasn't an attempt to manipulate his child fans. Randomly going in to talk about how you saved a girl's life reads to me like, yeah, I did a bad thing, but I can't be that bad. Look at all the good stuff I did. I am so proud of you for saving a suicidal person's life. However, you are also a creep to minors. For that one fan you saved, I can only imagine the amount of people that you've harmed by abusing your platform like you did with your recent victim. Literal Homelander energy. And these motherfuckers will eat this up. I can't. I keep thinking about that story and other stories like it. Times when someone reached out to me to let me know that I cured their depression or saved their life. Those stories make me feel like I have the potential to affect the world in a positive way. But that's only if I stop making such dumb decisions all the time. And I can only stop making dumb decisions if I get healthy. And the only way to get healthy is to start making better life choices. If I want to do more good than harm to the world, I have to get my head straight. That might involve spending less time at the PC, less time on the internet, and less time developing the game. Bro! A lot of people have been asking me if the recent controversy will cause me to stop developing the game, or give the game away to another developer. I'm not ready to answer those questions. I will need to do a tremendous amount of thinking before I can make any monumental decisions like that. I really enjoy working in Yandere Simulator when you can be bothered to work. If I didn't, then I wouldn't be willing to do it continuously is a stretch. The thought of taking time away from it makes me feel incredibly sad. But neglecting absolutely every aspect of my mental and physical health has caused me to devolve into a danger to myself and others. And that's not something I want to be. I don't take a step away from development, but perhaps I should. At least long enough to decide the best way to proceed from here. The project doesn't need to outright die, but it definitely should be paused until I have made significant progress towards evolving into a much healthier person. And there's the real reason you cared so much about this. Your magnum opus, your child born from resentment, your only source of income is going to dry up if you don't address this. Now, it makes sense. The guilt tactics used throughout this post is because you needed to prove to all your haters over the years were wrong by finally finishing your game and make $1 quadrillion. Yes, how's that going? Once again, I don't think the project should continue because you've abused your platform so much and for so long. You've threatened small companies because they wanted money you owed them. You threatened other game devs of suicide because you didn't like competition. And you also groomed a child because you couldn't hack going outside and speaking with a real woman your age. At this point, continuing Yandere Simulator is like wanting to continue Sonic Chew. Just stop.
Actually want to be that kind of person, but he is that kind of person, and until he changes, he's going to remain that kind of person. And I don't know if I believe YandereDev really can change.
Over the years, Yandere Simulator and myself have been through countless controversies. I'm sorry for not properly addressing most of these controversies, and for responding to some of those controversies in ways that only made things worse. There are still a lot of things I want to address in a proper manner one day, but now is not the time. Surprise, surprise, he still doesn't actually address any of the issues or past controversies, something he's been dodging this entire video, so let's just move on. The reason my cold, unfeeling voice sounds so frustrated is because this dude has been handed so many opportunities. He had PewDiePie playing his game, for God's sakes. Thousands of dollars down the drain, and the only thing I can say is, God, I wish there was an epilepsy warning. I'd like to thank the animators, artists, composers, modelers, voice actors, and YouTubers who have helped make Yandere Simulator into what it is today. If we won't continue on this journey together, I'll always remain thankful to you for the assistance that you have once granted me. I received a lot of messages since the last blog post. Many of them were harsh, rightfully so. But there were also a lot of messages equivalent to, I want to see you improve your mental health and finish your game. I've been following the project for 8+ years, and I don't want to see it end like this. Yandere Simulator's audience has shrunken over the years. For good reason, the game fucking sucks. But despite everything, there are still a lot of people in this world who love Yandere Simulator. They love the characters, the setting, and the story. They enjoy speculating about what will happen towards the end of the game, what occurred in the unrevealed parts of the backstory, and what plot twists might be waiting in the lore. They want to learn how the Aishi condition began, what secrets the Psycho family is hiding, and what's underneath the cherry. What the fuck are you talking about, Alex? I don't follow Yansim stuff, so I have no idea what reaction I'm supposed to even have to this. Like, was I supposed to start frothing at the mouth for the I love you virus? That name sucks so much, oh my god. Like, what can I say that wouldn't be repeating myself? Just stay gone. Please, for the love of God, just go away. Hell, even if you ignore this, I'm not gonna stop. If he keeps posting garbage, then I'll keep making money. So please be my guest. I won't let people forget what led to all of this backlash. Well, by now, you guys have probably already heard about everything. I did something careless that has resulted in a massive controversy, and as a result, a lot of Yandere Simulator's volunteers have departed from the project. In some cases, they've even asked me to remove their contributions from the game as well. How will this impact the future of the project? Well, in order to make an educated and informed decision about how I should move forward from here, I'll need to evaluate a lot of information. How many volunteers have departed from the project? Which ones specifically requested for their contributions, animations, art, models, music, textures, voice lines to be removed? How many assets will need to be replaced? How difficult and or time consuming will it be to replace those assets? How many people are still willing to assist me? Are they capable of replacing the assets that need to be replaced? The answer to these questions will determine the best way to proceed forward with the project. Will it be possible to replace everything that has... It's Uni assets! Will it be possible to replace everything that has been lost within the span of a few weeks? Or is it something that is going to take months? Should I drastically reduce the scope of the project in order to reduce the number of assets necessary to finish it? The only way to arrive at the answers to these questions is to look through all of the correspondence that I have received over the past week. I nailed the word correspondence. I'm so proud, holy shit. So that's what I'm going to be doing in the immediate future, until I've had an ample time to develop a full understanding of the situation. It's just not possible to make a meaningful decision about what should happen next. Didn't he already talk about this like last post? Notice how the posts are drastically different in some areas. Almost as if the people who are paying you money have already sunk cost fallacy their way into having to understand every issue you have so they can eventually get what they paid for. Instead of even being remotely remorseful, his immediate response is, man, people who are working for free left my project. However will I cope? This is Alex's actual response to the recent controversy to me, because I know he doesn't care. On this post, he spent one line talking about what he did before spending the rest of it talking about Yandere Simulator. And the volunteers leaving are so based. You lot were actually working for free, so good on you for leaving. At this point in time, there are only 4 things I can say for certain. I have received an avalanche of support. I received an avalanche of supportive messages over the past few days, begging me to not give up on the game. A lot of people are deeply attached to Yandere Simulator, and I don't want it to end like this. Their worst nightmare would be to see me cancel or quit the project, and I feel the same way. A lot of people who reached out to me over the past few days were animators, artists, composers, modelers, and voice actors who want to help me recover from this massive setback by providing any assets I need in order to restore the game to the state it was in before. It's too early to say anything for certain, but making a full recovery is starting to appear feasible. I consider the notion of giving the project to another developer to be the absolute last resort. I'm too attached to the game to let it go. It's not like I'm completely unwilling to consider the possibility, but I want to consider all other possible options before I accept it as a valid choice. It was probably a massive mistake to allow the game's scope to grow as large as it did. I put myself into a position where I'm completely reliant on a massive team of volunteers, and I can't finish the game without a massive budget requiring a successful crowdfunding campaign. Perhaps the smartest thing to do right now would be to simply reduce the scope of the game to something that can reasonably be expected of one man. Perhaps back in 2015, I never should have made the choice to add voice acting to the game. It was a decision that has only served to increase the number of assets, money, and people that would be required to finish the game. Perhaps reducing the game's scope to a game without any voice acting would be the best move for the project. No need for a crowdfunding campaign if I don't have to worry about hiring dozens of voice actors after all. He wasn't even paying them. I wish I could paint a clear picture for you of the future of the project, but I won't be able to form a complete mental image of the situation until I have finished going through all of the correspondence I've received. Seriously, hundreds of emails. Oh my god. He's doing it again. He's spending hours reading emails.
I have so many emails, guys. If only I had the choice to just stop fucking reading them.
Seriously, hundreds of emails. I'm not exaggerating. I still don't know who has left the project, who remains, who wants to pull their assets, how many new volunteers are stepping up to help, how much positive sentiment remains, etc. I just need to keep going through emails until I've developed a comprehensive understanding of the situation. If you're reading this post, it means you saw me as being worthy of your support. I apologize if I've disappointed you, and I promise that, at this moment at least, abandoning the project is the last thought on my mind. I genuinely do want to continue development. I just need time to analyze the situation and form a plan. I apologize for any disappointment, and I thank you for supporting the development of Yandere Simulator. Where to even begin? Okay, so once again, Alex doesn't address the issue people had with him. He also says that so many people reached out to him to recover from the incident and people... What am I saying? He also says that so many people reached out to him to recover from the incident because people didn't want their name on a pedo simulator. He then makes me waste my precious time on this planet reading out a post that just says nothing I care about. I know I'm not a Patreon member or whatever, but come on. This is insane, and I am really tired of these ChatGPT responses. It's so exhausting seeing people like Alex fumble around like this. I'm done. Alex, just find a hole and stay there, please. Thanks for watching the video. As you can see, we recently hit 50k, which is awesome. Yeah. I want to give obviously a thank you to everyone who subscribed and watches my ADHD projects, but I also want to give a special thanks to Sarah. I have the wrong list up. Sarah, Israfel's Fire, Clownkeeper, Haven Lady, Sabin, Cupdev, Scourge the Cat 67, Crystal Flame, Alec Deshart, Anchi Kiara, King Johnny TH445, Ant, Pwep, Oliver, Nekotra Official, Grizzly Bear 1996, Kinda Snowy, and Alien Hunter. I don't really have anything else to say, to be honest. I just kind of So that's it. I probably will be streaming Minecraft the week this releases, maybe if I'm feeling up for it at some point. Yeah, have a good day. Thanks 50k, and see you lads.